Welcome. This is David Boles, Human Meme. Today's topic, theme of the last known good. Last known good has its foundational definition in the emergency backup configuration of a computer. The idea is something breaks and your computer will not start up, and so you can go back in time to the last known good configuration of when your computer actually worked. The saved configuration from the last time you were actually able to boot up your computer is the idea behind last known good. And then, when you decide to restore the last known good configuration, you hope magically that you reverse space and time and you travel back to the last known good configuration and your computer magically starts working again. Are there any other life themes that can exploit this notion of last known good? Yes. I argue with you here today there are several last known goods, and I'll share my thoughts on them with you now. Okay, so you've been working all day and you're absolutely famished. What do you do? How do you feed that starving hunger? Do you go out and try something new to eat? No. Most likely, no way are you going to try something new. You are not going to experiment with a new taste when you are ravenous. Instead, you are going to recall memory and go back in time and offer up to yourself a confirmed favorite, a favorite meal that will knowingly and willfully satiate your hunger pangs. And that last known good is where people like us get in trouble with eating and drinking because we wait too long to eat and drink between meals, and so we go with the old reliable, the old last known good, which is often delicious and satisfying, but maybe not so good for us. Creating a whole new last known good takes patience and dedication when it comes to eating. And you have to present a new last known good to yourself as a gift, being brave and exploratory. And you need to find that new last known good in a quiet time when you are alone and clear-headed and not hungry. And yes, that's tough to do in a modern world, because we rarely eat on an exact and absolute schedule. And when we do, the schedule defeats us, because we've waited all day for that feed, trough, feast to alarm us, and to get us over that hunger hump and into a more healthful last known good. We must concentrate on protein. Protein helps you manage your hunger, and you will lose fat and not muscle if you eat enough protein. Yes, eating protein, especially from beans and other healthful non-animal fat means, will ensure you are focused and alive and lively, all in your want to create your next last known good for what hits the yummy in your tummy.
relationships.
We wonder why we keep making the same mistakes over and over again in our personal relationships. We find ourselves stuck in a Mobius strip existence, with no way out of the center square. Last known good. Yes, that's the theme that guides us. We like what we know. We prefer to experience what we already understand pleases us. And that, my friend, is how we get stuck in a relationship rut. We don't want to try something new. We just want what we already know feels right and good. And that means we are really stuck in the first known good, not the last known good. Because if we think about it, if we really ended well with our last known good, it wouldn't be a last, it would be a first. But we don't think that way. We instead prefer to romanticize a failed past, and we forgive the horrible end, all in order to go back in time to the way things were, just so we may end up horrible all over again. We never choose to learn our lesson, because we are too much in love with the idealized version of love and companionship and caring and company, all stored in our mimetic vault of last known good peccadillos. We like to believe that inspiration is active and thoughtful and alive in the moment. It is not. Inspiration is only based on what we know and what we have already learned, our shared last known good. And we have arrived to think what worked before shall work again. And yet we are surprised when we repeatedly fail in the reattempting. The truly imaginative among us use inspiration to travel backward to the last known good, so they may slingshot back into the now and then leap beyond the us of us, to be propelled far ahead of us into the future. Yes, true and genuine inspiration is incomprehensible to most because we have no referent point. We are all stuck together in our present tense terms with human longings to look backward and reflect upon the last known good, instead of just letting go of what we think we know in order to relax the parallax view of our minds. We cling to the familiar and the safe, and we miss out. Yes, it's a fact of truth. There are those living among us who are light years away from the center normal. And they are not looking back at us in a right way, even though they are with us in real time. These geniuses of inspiration have figured out what few of us dare to even know. The last known good is merely a prison of pre-expectation, where nothing new lives, and where everything is condemned in anger and a begrudging alienation. The future tense of us, the unknowable to arrive good, is just too ashy and dusky and ethereal to be trusted, because it has not been invented yet, let alone experienced yet. And so that is how we are set against each other. Those of us who are searching for the last known good, and the few of us who are propelled into knowing so much forward, advanced into the future unknown, and who we have already disremembered what it meant to feel comfort in memory and to feel happiness in a pre-experienced time and place. All gambled away and parlayed into an exchange of truly living in the undefined moment, waiting to create a first, last known good that will quickly disengage and then disintegrate back into time, into a never-known bad. Thank you for listening. Be a human meme.